I was a scholar ng Metrobank Foundation. My dream talaga is to become a doctor. Nangibabaw kasi yung pangarap para sa pamilya. Nanay ko lang ang
Single parent of 8 children.
8 children. I've been longing to find my tatay. I'm currently working as a registered nurse sa Sunnybrook Health Sciences Center and also working as a registered nurse sa Toronto General Hospital. So 2 hospitals.
Nag-practice ka rin sa Pilipinas, no?
I was there like for 2 years at Manila Doctors Hospital before going to Abu Dhabi and then Abu Dhabi to Canada. Sabi ko, okay, Canada, it's good for family. Ang bilis.
Mabilis
Like within
lang.
a year.
Okay. How did you become an RN here?
Oh, ang hirap. You're always looking for Canadian experience. You're always longing for patient interactions. Ngayon nakikita ko nung nag-enjoy yung mga bata. They're getting awards. They're joining some activities. Sabi ko, worth it pala. Walang regret. Nursing is an art of like how you make people happy. In case sa family ko may ma-hospital, I want other people to treat them well.
Araw sa inyong lahat. It's a great time to chat at makakasama natin ngayon ang isang actually highly decorated nurse dito sa Canada, and he also has international recognitions for his outstanding service as a nurse. And we do know that a lot of Filipinos, deserve that kind of recognition, and we're going to talk to him because he's also leading a group or an organization of nurses that helps other nurses here in Canada. We're going to talk to Mark Graboso. Hi, Mark.
Hi, good afternoon, Ms. Cherry, and thank you for having me here.
Alam mo, naalala ko na nakita kita sa isang magazine when I was in Sunnybrook Hospital here in Toronto. One of the best hospitals yan, when it comes to certain specializations. I remember seeing their newsletter, the magazine. It's called Hospital News, and now I know it's you, but your face was there and it was like, parang Nursing Hero 2024. No, now I remember, that was you. So it's very nice to meet you. I've been wanting to meet that person in that cover because I want to talk about Filipino nurses and the concerns of nurses. So first, tell us a little bit about yourself and currently what are you busy with? Saan ka naka-assign?
Yeah, thank you, Ms. Cherry, and for recognizing that magazine. So I'm currently working as a registered nurse sa Sunnybrook Health Sciences Center as a trauma center here in Canada and burn unit. And also working as a registered nurse sa Toronto General Hospital. So 2 hospitals.
How does that work?
One full-time, then 1 casual.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
just
Casual is part-time. Is that the same?
Yeah, like casual, like in case like if you're available to pick up some shift. Then they can call you. Just put your availabilities. Then
so, kaya pa ng oras yun? May full-time ka na sa Sunnybrook?
Yeah, kailangan kasi maraming umasa rin sa Pilipinas aside from the family here sa Canada. So, you have to get some extra work.
Does that still leave you with a day off? Alam ko kasi all over the world, but also Canada has its own struggles about the shifting, the work hours, diba?
As long as like 12-hour shift, kasi pag 12 hours shift, you have 3 days off during the week as long as you're doing 12-hour shift. So have some extra 1-2 day pick up ng shift sa other hospital. But other people don't know that we're picking up shift like for extra para makapagpadala sa Pilipinas.
Nag-practice ka rin sa Pilipinas, no?
I was there like for 2 years at Manila Doctors Hospital. Registered nurse before going to Abu Dhabi and then Abu Dhabi to Canada. So from 2007 to 2010, then working in a medical surgical. So maybe people know me din sa Manila Doctors Hospital. So.
Walk us through that experience, yung from Manila Doctors ka in the Philippines, and then what made you move to Abu Dhabi? How was the experience there? That's what made you move from Abu Dhabi to Canada naman. That seems like a very interesting route, no?
Yeah. So as a dreamer, as a Filipino na nanggaling sa hirap, you always wanted for a better life for your family, for yourself, maka-experience mo something. I was a scholar ng Metrobank Foundation sa
Okay.
Manila
I'm
Doctors.
very familiar with the Metrobank Foundation.
Metrobank
They've
Foundation.
gotten me as judge a few times. Pero hindi ako yata ako nag-judge ng nurses. Meron sa mga police, outstanding
Yeah, outstanding
policemen,
police, yeah.
mga outstanding. Yeah, they're, yeah.
I was able
Okay.
to assist the awarding of outstanding teachers, police.
Mm-hmm.
Kasi I work, habang naghihintay ng license ko sa Pilipinas, I was given the chance to work sa Metrobank Foundation. So maybe like,
Baka doon tayo
Doon tayo
nag-meet
nagkita.
dati.
So, yeah.
Oo, we were
Kasi
wondering kanina, saan ba kami nagkakilala apart from...
we're assisting, awarding during the 10
Oh,
outstanding
okay.
teachers, policemen. Yeah.
Okay.
So I think maybe.
Mhm.
And then going back to Manila Doctors Hospital, like, yeah. So 3 years, enough for me para makapag-abroad. Kasi my dream talaga is to become a doctor. But since mahirap ang buhay, so yeah, I have to help my mom, single parent, and to help my other siblings. So I decided kahit ayaw ko pa, I had to. So
Ayaw mo pa na...
umalis
Umalis,
ng
okay.
Pilipinas.
Mhm,
Kasi meron pang dream na gusto
you
ko
wanted to be a
i-fulfill.
doctor
Wanted to
sana.
be a doctor.
Okay.
Pero nangibabaw kasi yung, alam mo, yung pangarap para sa pamilya.
Mhm.
Kaya yun ang nagtulak sa akin para mag-Abu Dhabi.
Where did you grow up? Which area? Sa Metro Manila? Or where did you study
Lumaki
your
ako
nursing
sa
also?
Laguna. And then, after grade 6, kinuha ko ng tita ko to help me. And kasi 8 kami magkakapatid. And then, story na. So,
If
kinuha
you're
ko-
okay, you can tell us your story.
Yeah, mahirap ang buhay. So, nanay ko lang ang
Single
support.
parent,
Single parent.
of 8 children.
8 children. And the
Wow.
8 and the last. Pero mataas ang pangarap.
Oo.
So, good thing, kinuha ko ng tita ko and then kapatid ko kinuha rin niya initially. And then doon ako nag-high school. So, doon from, I think, high school hanggang fourth year high school, nandun ako.
Saan doon?
Sa Pasay.
Okay.
Sa Pasay. And then doon ako namulat about sa mga activities, how to become active. I was part of the school paper organization then, newspaper, like photojournalism. So we're attending National Press Conference for 3 years when I was in high school. So high school ang pinaka talagang highlight.
You became
ng
active. There's so many things that
leadership,
your eyes were open to so many
newspapers.
leadership roles.
Yeah.
Okay.
So doon yung nag-open sa akin, ganito pala ang buhay sa Maynila. And then one way na rin para maka-earn ng money if you're doing competitions, slogan making contests, if you're sending to
This is as early as high school.
As high
You
school,
were already entering into those things.
yeah, and then if you win the inter-school and then regional, you get some allowance. So doon ako parang, wow, okay pala. Ay ganon. And then at the same time, you're enjoying your high school life. Yan dun nag-start. And then, dun ko na, I want to be like in a media or like in a healthcare. Pero pangarap ko pa talaga maging doctor. So, dun high school, when I graduated high school, ang kilala ko lang school is UP. Because I want to to go to UP Manila. Sabi ko, if
Kilala
I get,
din naman ang medicine
Yeah,
ng UP
medicine ng
Manila.
UP Manila,
Magaling talaga.
yeah.
Oo.
But since ang taas ng admission sa UP Manila, ang hirap
Ang hirap
makapasok.
pumasok. Oo.
So hindi ko pa alam actually paano makapasok ang strategies para makapasok into UP. Pero one time, may nag-offer sa akin ng scholarship. So doon na yung so you go for a scholarship or just go to your dream school. Sabi ko, financial wise, I'll take the scholarship sa Manila Doctors College. So which is nagbigay din sa akin talaga ng opportunity through Metrobank Foundation Scholar. Because I was the valedictorian of the Pasay City High School.
Wow.
So all those na started to know how to balance school extracurricular activities. So dun ko na learn how to do the time management and balancing life plus extracurricular. Na hanggang ngayon dala-dala ko dito sa Canada with
Pero
all the
after mo
activities.
nag-high school, nung nag-college ka sa Manila Doctor, you were a scholar of Manila Doctors. Where did you study?
Manila Doctors
College. And you studied nursing?
Yes.
Or, okay.
I studied nursing there.
With the intention of pre-med sana to?
Pre-med sana, yeah. And rendering 2 to 3 years after, because when you're a scholar, you have to return of service. To do return of service sa
3
hospital
years.
for 3 years. So I
Pero nung
finished the
time
one.
na yun, kasi yung ibang nurses na nakakausap ko sa Pilipinas, pagpasok nila sa ospital, alam na nila na gusto lang nilang kunin yung minimum number of years para maka-abroad. Did you have that mindset?
At that time, sabi ko, 3 years, okay na. Pero alam mo yung nagtatalo sa isip mo, you wanna go to med school or you want to help your family. So, mas nangibabaw. Sabi ko, sige, subukan ko yung pag-abroad. I was 23 years old.
Wow! And then you applied to Abu Dhabi na agad?
Abu Dhabi, and then I was interviewed. May mga dumating na recruiter. And then I'm part of the ito sa Lucky. Lucky 7 tinatawag nila. Na wala kang gagastusin. Pupunta ka lang, pakita mo lang yung passport. No, sila na bahala. Kala ko, sabi ko, is it true? Sabi ko, ako na ba? Ito ba? It's like happening na ba? Na, okay, give me sign. Sabi ko, I always believe in the sign. And I was always praying, give me a sign. And then one time na dumating na, okay, kailangan ko na nga talaga. Kasi ang hirap makapasok or makafocus sa med school. Otherwise, kung magtutuloy ako ng med school, yung nanay ko kailangan na ng bahay, kailangan na, kasi may nakikitira lang kami sa isang lupain na hindi naman amin. So, I have to help yung family ko din. So, yun yung mga nagtutulak sa akin, mga driving force to continue.
At that time, ilang siblings pang nakatira sa mommy mo?
3 pa kami, pero others are nag-asawa na. Yung iba is meron ng kanyang buhay.
Ikaw rin, nakatira ka rin sa nanay mo that time?
Yeah, at that time.
Nung nagmamanila doctors ka?
Umuwi ako, pero sa tita ko pa rin
Oo.
So every weekend uwi ako para makita ko siya.
Oo.
Na ganun. Pero yung while studying no high school, sa kanya ako nakastay.
Okay. Tapos sinabi mo yung Lucky 7, that was to go to Abu Dhabi?
To Abu Dhabi. Yung recruiter.
So tama naman yung inaasahan mo?
Yeah, initially doon parang culture shock.
Oo.
Arab country, pero punta kami.
Was this the first time you went out of the Philippines?
Yeah.
Hindi. Okay.
Out of the country na kinakabahan.
Yeah, it could be a culture shock.
A culture
no?
shock.
Yeah.
And then, kita mo yung lahat sila nakataklob and everything sa mga abaya or anything. And then every time na maririnig mo yung dasal ng mga Muslim, parang
Ibang mundo.
ibang mundo.
Diba?
Like, gusto kong tumawag, gusto ko umuwi. Pero since 23 naman kami.
23 years old.
23 years old.
Wow.
Parang
And all of a sudden you were transported into a world
Kaya
that
parang
was so unknown
one
to you.
day or like kahapon, andun lang ako natutulog sa Pilipinas. Wake up ko, ibang lugar na. So talagang it
But
was like,
was it more in a good way, culture shock, or parang, as you mentioned, gusto mo umuwi? It wasn't initially hindi
ganun,
siya-
pero nangingibabaw talaga, alam mo yung pangarap mo for your family. So kailangan mo ituloy.
You have to surpass all the
You have to
challenges.
surpass the
Parang
challenges.
walang choice. But yun ang kailangan kong mabuhay.
Yeah, kailangan mabuhay,
kong-
kailangan may pangarap ka. And then, kailangan mo lang ituloy. Kahit mahirap yung language, kailangan mo aralin. Kasi it's Arabic. So you have to learn the language. So isa yun yung magandang qualities ng mga Filipinos. Being resilient and then, talagang itutuloy para sa pangarap sa buhay, para sa pamilya.
Okay. So, how was your life there? Immediately, you were accepted in a hospital? Meron na naka-assign?
May naghihintay ng mga na hospital sa amin, and then naghihintay doon, and then may mga Pilipino. Doon ako natuwa. Every time na makita kong Pilipino, nabubuhayan ako. Ay, may Pilipino.
Yung roots mo, no? Yung
Sabi
parang
ko,
biglang-
okay. Sabi ko, okay na ako. May nakita akong mga Pilipino. Actually, may makasama yung 7. Ako lang yung lalaki. So, I have to be strong kasi
okay.
6 na babae ang kasama ko sa 7 unang
wow.
pinadala.
Sa Lucky 7, ikaw
Sa Lucky
lang ang
7 ako lalaki. Sabi ko, I
Okay.
have to be strong kasi from the airport, we have to travel at least 2 hours. Doon pa sa airport, papuntang probinsya ng Abu Dhabi. Sabi ko, ang dilim-dilim. Ang driver namin, parang, strangers amin.
Oo.
Tapos puro babae.
Oo.
Sabi ko, I have to be strong. So sabi ko, and then yung dun sa Lucky 7 na yun, isa dun, yun na pangasawa ko.
Oh, lucky nga.
Lucky. So I have to be strong, I have to
Aba.
pakita. Kasi sabi ko,
Okay.
nung nagkita kami, may something.
Wow.
So dun yung
What a story.
Yun a story na
Sa nagsimula sa eroplano.
Yes,
when you
aeroplano
siya-
kasi sabi ko, nakalungkot na gano'n pala yung feeling, nakadepress.
Mhm.
So I started in conversation, di pa namin kilala isa. Ganun pa hanggang we get to know each other. Yung story niya, story ko. Yung parang ganun. Doon na nag-start. Now we started as friends, then colleagues, and then...
I'm seeing meron ka talagang no, parang intrinsically meron kang instinct na mag-alaga. Yung parang, ito, I'm with 6 women, ako yung lalaki.
Yeah.
Kailangan kong make sure that they're all safe.
Yes.
So heightened alert ka niya,
Heightened
not
alert
just for
ako.
yourself. Because you also have to watch out for yourself.
You have to be responsible din kasi ikaw yung lalaki doon sa grupo. Kailangan mo alert. Kasi pag yung mga naririnig mo, di ba, about Arab countries. So, you have to be,
What were the challenges of living in Abu Dhabi?
aside sa language, is yung belongingness din nila and longing for support kasi karating mo lang. Although may mga community naman nag-support, nag-welcome sa amin, which is good. And then challenges na rin siguro is yung treatment sa atin ng ibang lahi. Pero we prove that Filipino nurses deserve like to be treated fairly and pakita natin na talagang we provide world-class care sa kanila, which is talaga naman priority nila and prefer nila mga Filipino nurses because of the
What
TLC.
were the good things there about being a nurse in Abu Dhabi?
It's highly recognized and acknowledged by the Abu Dhabi government because of our contributions. Kasi mga frontliners, and then behind dung mga boss, yung mga medical director, Filipino, mga secretary nila, yung gumagawa ng papers nila, yung mga charge nurses, mga Filipino. Something that make you feel proud. Na sabi ko, okay, ganito pala ang Pilipino. So talagang maasahan tayo that they can, we are reliable, like to work with them. So talagang nandun yung pagkilala and honor para sa mga Filipino nurses.
What sort of work did you do there? Kasi nursing, maraming iba-ibang klase yan. What was the kind of nursing
My initial
practice?
practice for 4 years, I was at the bedside medical surgical unit. So I was taking care of those sick Arab patients, workers kasi province. So there's a lot of like expat, like mga workers na nandun. And then my last 3 years before I go to Abu Dhabi, to Canada, working in ambulatory care. Like doing immunization for babies, doing school screening, and then pre-employment.
How long were you there again?
7
years.
4
in
years
Abu
bedside
Dhabi.
and 3 years
How did the
outpatient.
love story develop nung una? Magkasama kayo pumunta doon? And then did you get married along the way while you were there? Or?
After 2 years, hindi ko na pinakawan. Like kami lang lagi magkasama and then we get to know each other. Kasi doon, ang hirap mag-establish ng grupo.
Matinik din pala si Nurse Mark.
Yeah.
Umuwi kayo ng Pilipinas? Walang pakasal? Or doon na...
Doon nag-civil muna kami doon.
Okay.
Sa Philippine Embassy ng Abu Dhabi.
Okay.
And then we wanted like our families to be included naman din. So umuwi kami for the second wedding, his church wedding sa Calaruega.
Oh, beautiful church in Tagaytay, no?
Tagaytay.
Kasi Laguna ka, kaya
Yeah,
familiar
sa
ka sa
Tagaytay.
area na yun. From Abu Dhabi to Canada.
Yeah, from
What
Abu
happened?
Dhabi, since may baby na ako noon, and then
Sa Dubai pinanganak, sa Abu Dhabi pinanganak yung
first and second.
First and second. How
And
many kids do you have?
3 now.
3, okay.
So
1 and 2 were born in Abu
born
Dhabi.
in Abu Dhabi. Nung
Do
3
they
years-
get the passport when
No,
they're born
they're not-
there?
they're not
Then,
giving
they
them.
don't,
They don't,
award citizenship.
only
Yeah.
like to feel unless makapag-asawa ng mga Arab then they can give the
So, Philippine
citizenship.
passport,
Philippine
the
passport
2
pa rin.
kids, okay.
Yeah. And then at that time kasi magpo-4 na. Magpo-4 years old na and
Yung
then
panganay.
she has to go to school, to JK.
True.
And then pag
Okay.
doon, pwede naman siya pumasok sa school, like Philippine school, but you have to pay like out of your own pocket.
Oh,
So sabi
okay.
ko, we have to,
Wala silang mga free public schools like here
Wala.
in Canada.
you have to pay. So sabi ko, mababawasan ng finances natin or anything. So,
Maganda naman ang sweldo ng nurse sa Abu
Yeah.
Dhabi. Okay.
maganda naman. Actually, financially, like financial wise, okay, makaipon ka.
Oo.
Then you can like make project for your family back home.
Oo.
Magpadala ka ng how many LBC boxes. Makakauwi ka twice a year.
Oo.
Kasi may
Oo.
travel, may airfare ticket, may allowance.
Oh, from the
hospital.
from
So,
your
yun lang
employer.
before during that time. And then, since nga,
Yun lang talaga walang benefits for your
Yeah,
parang
for your-
residency benefits. Parang worker ka lang talaga doon.
Exactly. So kasi pag nandun ka, you're always thinking of like, like long-term goal.
Of course, oo.
If we start US or Canada, kasi wife ko is USRN na sa Vermont. And then, sabi ko, okay, Canada. Kasi I've searched a lot, like it's good for family. So, okay, let's try. And then, nag-processing na. Ang bilis.
Mabilis
Like within
lang.
a year.
Okay.
Sabi ko,
So wala kayong family dito?
yung brother ko, so nauna sa akin ng mga ilang months.
Okay.
And then we followed.
Landed PR na kayo?
Landed PR when dumating dito. Pero
What year was that?
2017.
2017. Okay, before the pandemic.
Before the pandemic.
How did you become an RN here?
Oh, ang hirap.
Kasi RN Pilipinas, RN
Pilipinas,
Abu Dhabi.
I thought, sabi ko,
Pagdating
tapos
dito.
na ako sa mga exams. And then, the registration process is complex. Like, struggle is real.
Nasa Abu Dhabi, wala.
Wala.
Kang pinagdaan ng ganun.
Like, kasi sa Pilipinas, parang ni-recruit kami, doon na kami pinag-exam.
Oo.
And then, once we pass,
Oo
deploy na
nga, that
kami.
makes sense.
Makes sense. Here sa Canada, nasa Abu Dhabi na kami. Nag-search muna kami. Okay, we prepare the documents. Pagdating doon, okay, meron pa pala. May mga pending na Hirap ang mag-RN dito sa
Anong
Canada.
ginawa mo to be RN?
During that time, I processed again my NNAS, na National Nursing Assessment Service. Ang mali ko doon, kasi ang pinarassess ko before is like registered practical nurse. Sabi ko, para
RPN.
sure ball.
Oo.
Para pagdating ko doon, exam na lang and then license. Kasi I know RN is very complex.
Okay.
It's a long process. Sabi ko, sige, RPN. Hindi siya nangyari naman. When I came here, they give me eligibility to write the RPN exam. Pero, how to become an RN takes a while again. Start from scratch, NNAS, sending your documents to the Philippines, exam, and then meet your education, meeting your safe practice. 8 requirements you have to comply. And it took me, dumating ang pandemic, it took me 4 years. Dahil nga ang nahirap mag-schedule na exam. Because I challenged the regulatory body to meet my safe practice.
So, hindi ka na nag-test? Kasi option yun, di ba? Not test. Hindi ka na nag-aral ng 2 years. Instead of studying for 2 years, challenge mo na sinabi mo, I already have the credentials to be an RN.
The experience. Okay, if you want, you can take this OSCE. OSCE is just the objective type. Like you will do the return demonstration, examination.
Okay.
May evaluator, and then 9 scenarios, and you have a patient. You have to show them your skills. You're competent enough.
How was that route?
Oh my God! Like honestly, it's nerve-wracking and talagang hindi mo alam kasi pass or fail lang eh. Like after that, you have to wait after 2 months, but you have to do it not because for yourself, because of your families. So isa yun yung mga pathway na maging RN dito sa Canada. Which is after nun, naging maluwag. Kasi they accepting NCLEX passer to waive the education and the language proficiency. Sabi ko, ang daya. Ang daya naman. Sabi ko, nahirapan ako. Tapos after nun, NCLEX lang pala. And then after passing that OSCE, another exam na naman. NCLEX as entry to practice registration exam for me.
NCLEX is for the US?
US.
Kailangan?
Kailangan. That's the standardized registration examination.
So lahat ng RN dapat nakapasa sa NCLEX.
But if you go to CNO pathway, ang last step mo is yung NCLEX. After meeting all the requirements, doon ka pa lang nilang bibigyan ng NCLEX eligibility to take the exam. Pero ang dami mo ng pinagdaanan. So isa sa mga pathway.
Okay. So kahit
pinakamahirap.
na napasa mo yung pag-challenge, yung 9 different scenarios, does it happen in one day lang, that exam?
Yeah.
Okay.
But prior to that, may written exam. So two schedule you have to take.
Yun yung sinasabi mong mahirap mag-schedule?
Yeah, ang hirap.
Like
dahil
how long
maraming,
before you get the schedule?
Dahil nga pandemic noon, bihira lang sila
Kasi
maglabas ng
pandemic.
schedule.
Okay.
Na twice a year lang sila nagkakandak.
Pero napasa mo yun?
Yeah, I thought tapos na. Hindi pa pala.
Oo.
NCLEX pa.
NCLEX
So you
pa.
have to prepare for that.
Tapos nung nag-pandemic, yun yung ginawa nilang shortcut na hindi na kailangan NCLEX lang, di ba? NCLEX lang, which is ending on March
Yeah.
30.
So March 31st, that would be
March
the last
31st.
day because April 1, effective April 1 to 2025, there's a new requirement for educational pathway. The NCLEX will not be waived. for your education, but rather it will be used as an entry to practice registration exam. Like back to the usual.
Oh my gosh. Itanong nyo sa IFCNA yan. Dahil kahit ako nalilito ako, I'm talking to nurses, pero parang ang daming
Yeah.
ang dami talagang kailangan intindihin at pagdaanan. So anyway, nandun na tayo sa journey mo, no? So from Abu Dhabi, nahirapan ka pala. It took you 4 years?
4 years.
To become an RN,
become an RN.
here. But in the meantime, you were practicing as an
Yes,
RPN.
RPN. Yeah.
Your wife was an RN already.
Already because like
Kasi
at that time,
nag-NCLEX siya
NCLEX na
sa
siya.
Abu Dhabi.
Abu Dhabi.
Ba't hindi mo ginawa yan sa Abu Dhabi?
No, Pilipinas pa siya. USRN kasi
Pilipinas
she has a
pa.
plan na mag-US talaga.
Kaya talagang nag-NCLEX
Since
na siya
nagkaroon
doon.
ng retrogression sa US, na iba yung plano niya. Sabi ko, it's I think meant to be. Like everything happens, sabi niya,
Right.
for a reason, para ma-meet ko siya doon.
Correct.
Yeah, yeah.
Tapos, so nung nandito na kayo, RN siya, RPN ka. And then you had 2 kids.
2 kids.
That was your unit when you moved to Canada. How was it naman when you landed in Canada? O ano naman ang
Ito na.
your first few weeks, months in
Ang
Canada,
hirap
how was it?
mag-apply. They're always looking for Canadian experience. Always looking for my resume. And then at that time, wala pang support. Wala pang like IFCNA na mag-guide sa'yo, mag-assist sa'yo to how to navigate the registration process. So at that time, ang hirap mag-collect ng information. So search mo lang, sarili ka, do it on your own.
Mahirap maghanap ng trabaho as nurse? To think ang daming kailangang nurse
Hindi
dito
pa,
sa Canada.
kasi you have, before you land to like a nursing position or job, kailangan license ka.
Oo nga. Oo.
At that time, so either PSW ang magiging work mo muna or any healthcare related. Kasi I tried other work na non-clinical. Babalik at babalik pa rin ka talaga na you're always longing for patient interactions. Longing for your
This
taking
is for
care.
you
Yeah, for me
personally. Oo, yun talaga kasi
Yun ang
gusto
hirap.
mo sa
Kasi
trabaho
yun ang
mo.
trabaho ko. Pero pag nilagay mo ko sa a technical job or non-clinical, hirap ako. Kasi ito na yung nakasanayan ko for a decade.
Ano yung mga non-clinical options?
Housekeeping, through agency,
Ay,
minsan.
hindi nursing related.
Kasi pag nursing related, minsan pag ano yung offer na agency na mga ano.
Okay.
And then one time, may good thing that may mga agency, healthcare agency na nag-a-assist sa mga Filipino nurses. So I was able to get in there. And then binigyan ako ng mga shift. Dadalhin ako sa mga hospitals as parang nursing aid. Dadaling ka nila to patient care assistant. Wala pa akong PSW certificate, no? Pero since IAN ako, may ongoing registration ako sa CNO, they accepted me as patient care assistant. So they are sending me to hospitals, which is good for me. Gusto ko kasi na-expose ako. And then I learned their practices, their routine, and then how to adapt to their cultural, environment. So which is gusto ko rin. Pero at that time, hindi yun ang permanent kong job. Ang permanent ko is yung sa bahay. Because I know someone na they asked my service to take care of like bedbound patient. Ang wife ko nag-work ng morning, ako as a night. So ganun yung transition namin. May naiwan sa kids. So wife ko from 9 to 5, uwi siya ng 6. Ako naman naalis ng night. Ganun ang buhay sa Canada. Ang hirap. Yung kids, parang endorsement lang namin. Okay, ganito gagawin mo sa bata. Napakain ko na, napaano ko na. And then ikaw naman during the night. So sila habang na nighttime, sila magkakasama. Ako ang wala. And then back to the routine. Ako pang umaga, tulog. Ang mga bata nandiyan. Send sa school. So
Pero yung
ganun.
vision mo ba for Canada nung lumipat ka dito for your family? So since 2017 yan, does it satisfy you?
Ngayon nakikita ko nung nag-enjoy yung mga bata in school and then they're getting awards and then they're joining some activities. Sabi ko worth it pala. Hindi, walang regret. Although noong una nahihirapan ako. Gusto ko nang bumalik sa Abu Dhabi. Gusto ko nang bumalik sa Abu Dhabi kasi I'm used to the work there tsaka yung lifestyle namin doon. Meron nag-aalaga sa mga bata. Kasi meron nag-hire kami ng nanny. Doon para sa mga
doon
bata.
mas madali gawin yun.
Kahit we get Filipino lang naman to be our nanny na magte-take look after ng mga bata. And then pagdating sa Canada, talaga hands-on kami. Ang hirap hands-on talaga. So yun siya, I feel those mga nag-struggle initially. Kaya sinasabihan ko sa kanila, sa una lang yan. Pero worth it. Pag nalagpasan mo, it's all worth it. Lalo na pag nakita mo yung mga bata nag-enjoy sa school, they enjoying all the benefits that Canada has to offer.
You're in two very busy hospitals.
I know.
'Di ba? Yan yung mga main hospital dito, Toronto General Hospital, Sunnybrook Hospital. Tapos na-awardan ka as basically best nurse, no? Anong satisfaction mo with that kind of interaction with patients? And how is it in your daily interaction with them?
Make them happy. I think one of the best, na ano sa kanila, na mapangiti mo lang sila although they're in pain. Kasi it's nursing is not only a nursing profession, but it's an art of like how you make people happy. And then how you take care of them while in the hospital. Like, yung feeling nila na, oh, wala pala ako sa hospital. I feel like I'm not in the hospital, but I was being taking care of someone na, alam mo yun. Kasi I believe in good karma. If you want to be treated well, so you know how to treat people. Like, kasi sabi ko, in case sa family ko may ma-hospital na ganun, I want other people to treat them well. Kaya ganun yung trato ko sa mga kasi I believe in karma.
Oo, 'di ba? Na parang kahit stranger to gagawin mo doon.
Yeah.
Dahil hopefully someone will extend the same
Yes.
kind of kindness when it comes to your loved ones,
Yes,
'di ba? Nagugulat ba yung ibang lahi sa klase ng care ng nagbinibigay mo at ng Filipino nurses?
Yeah, in comparison sa mga iba naman, like, oh, can we request you for tomorrow again? But honestly, I wanted, but casual ako. But sabi ko gano'n. But if, given a chance, why not? I'll continue. It's my pleasure, like to meet like those kind of even patient and families. Kasi tumatatak, nagkakaroon parang indelible ink sa bawat puso nila na talagang tatak talaga yung mga Filipino nurses. Na sa bawat saan ka pumunta. Kasi innate na natural na lalabas at lalabas sa mga Filipino nurses being compassionate, yung how to take care of their, kasi tinuturing mo sila as family, hindi sila other people sa'yo. So, yun lang yung kagandahan na sa Filipino nurses. Kaya gustong-gusto tayo. Kahit
And
saan.
ibang-iba yan kasi lahat tayo, mga nakikinig sa atin, we have been to hospitals here in Canada or maybe you live basta outside of the Philippines, no? Iba the healthcare workers treat a lot of the other ibang lahing hindi Pilipino, they treat their patients, they treat their work as work. Parang no different as a bank teller, for example, or in other services, no? Sasabihin lang sa'yo, mag-i-injection, inject, bye, ganon.
Yes, exactly.
And sa Pilipino, hindi ganon, ano?
No, ang dami pa nating super.
Kamusta po kayo ngayon?
Kamusta po kayo?
Nararamdaman mo?
Yeah, exactly. And then, gonna put an IV in for you. But don't worry, I'll take care of you. Just take a deep breath. I'll hold your hand. May mga extra pang ganon, mga TLC. So, talagang ramdam nila yung care.
At saka kasi no? There's something in there dahil healing yan eh. Ang
Yes.
healing is not just what you introduce to them in terms of medications and it's the whole.
It's the
care.
holistic, holistic.
In fact, kaya nga nagkakasakit ang tao dahil may imbalance, may kulang
Exactly.
sa kanila na pag na-address yun by showing that person that someone cares for them or at least cares for you at this particular time. No?
Mababago yung
Di
mood
ba,
nila
no?
and then yung
Oo.
perspective nila. As someone is like looking after me. I'm safe. And then I'm like, confident that I'll get well soon.
Despite this, Mark, because it's been hailed all over the world. May message kahit si Prince Charles of King Charles now of the UK. Kasi talaga nag-step up ang nurses doon. Lahat ng nurses during the pandemic na-realize na, oh my gosh, Filipino nurses talaga ibang klase, 'di ba? Na namatay na para sa pasyente nila, hindi iniwan kahit na may COVID. Nung inatake ng Hamas ang Israel, Filipino caregivers, kahit babarilin na sila, hindi nila iniiwanan yung kanilang ward, no, yung kanilang pasyente. Ano ba tong mga Pilipino na to? Ibang klase, 'di ba? But despite the world knowing that, why are we still not getting what we deserve in terms of maybe, the hasty process of making us nurses, for example? You know that we do this kind of service. What do you think is lacking there?
Lacking when it comes to...
Bakit hindi, kung ganun tayo kagaling, bakit hindi at alam ng mundo na ganun kagaling ang mga Filipino caregivers and nurses, bakit ang hirap pa rin sa atin makapasok? Bakit ang hirap pa rin sa atin maging nurse sa Canada, maging RN sa Canada?
Yeah.
Sa UK, sa Israel, pinadali na nga eh. May mga ibang countries na pinapadali. The provinces here are getting the nurses diretso, pero may bottleneck pa rin pagdating sa either sa CNO or sa provincial.
So I think ang nakikita naman dito is maraming gatekeepers. So unlike if you know recently, I think last year 2020 to 2024, Philippines is one of the countries recognized na to expedited process, no, hindi na inihinga na masyadong requirements.
Dito
like in
meron ba tayong
Alberta
ganun?
and Nova Scotia.
Okay.
We're
Alberta
included in
and
the
Nova Scotia.
Lucky Seven again.
Good.
Lucky Seven, including Philippines, India, Nigeria, UK, Australia, and New Zealand. So, kasi in the nearly 10-year assessment, based on the advisory report, yung mga credential evaluation, and yung success rate ng passing the exam, na-recognize yung 7 countries na yon na, there's the success rate, like make them, angat sa iba, na talaga yung...
So meron ng
meron,
ganun
yeah.
sa Alberta at
Alberta
saka sa
ang
Nova
Nova Scotia.
Okay.
Hindi lang natin makapi dito sa Ontario. We don't know why. Masyadong question yun yung inaano namin. Pero we believe to protect the public. They have their own reason. But sana, like what the Alberta before did and Nova Scotia, they recognize the 7 countries and one of na-include na ng Philippines. Because talaga yung preparation natin, yung education system, talaga na-recognize nila. So which is ganun sana ang gawin dito sa Ontario.
And your group IFCNA is becoming a force in that, no, na advocating for Filipino nurses. And yung mas mabilis na credential recognition, yan yung mga pinapaglaban din ng IFCNA. Meron lang talagang hirap ang Pilipino minsan pagdating sa either lobbying for our interests, no? And minsan, nagtutulungan tayo in this level. Pagdating na dun sa meron ng naging leader, for example, biglang may magsisiraan naman.
Exactly.
Na
It's
itong
politics.
leader na to, imbis na nung una kasama natin sa baba, magkakagrupo tayo. Pag may naging leader na, may maiinggit, bababa. So hindi tuloy maiangat yung ating ating advokasya.
But we're very thankful with the support of the Philippine Consulate General in Toronto. Kasi in every advocacy that we pinibigyan namin sa kanila, nilalapit, we're being supportive, binabakapan kami nila. Like the thing that we had during the roundtable discussion with the Ministry of Immigration in Ontario, we were able to raise our issues about the international student with nursing background who came here through a student pathway stream. Na nandito na, RN na. And yet, their postgraduate work permit are expiring soon. So they have to leave their own workplace.
Okay.
So, ako as kakaupo ko lang January of 2024, yun ang unang challenge, no, na sumalubong sa akin.
Okay.
Either pakikinggan ko ba sila or i-ignore. Because I'm just newly elected sa position na yon.
So marami tayong ganun, mga expiring na ang work permit, pero RN na dito.
RN na
so
dito.
Anong magagawa ng province of Ontario?
Yeah, exactly. Because this is like more of immigration. And since sabi na at that time we have shortages in nursing. And to help us alleviate this nursing crisis, so we need nurses. And then at that time sabi ko, andito na.
Ayan na,
Andito na mga internationally educated. You have to utilize them. You have to help them. And then I was like telling them to, like during the roundtable discussion, you will let them go. Already are helping the nursing shortages here in Ontario.
Sino
And
kausap mo dito?
The immigration officials
Okay.
ng Ontario. Like what's the plan for them? Like you want to alleviate the crisis, and yet some of the employers are letting them go. Hindi ka pipigilan na umalis. Kasi expired na permit mo, they will give you notice. So sabi ko, no, it should not be like this. Kaya dun ako nagkaroon talaga ng desire tsaka ng driving force. Okay, we have to to consult other kasi after nun,
So meron ba, like halimbawa yung mga nakikinig sa atin ngayon na expiring na ang kanilang mga work permit?
so at that time I had given a chance na makakonect sa Chief Nursing of Ontario, si Dr. Karima. Thank you, Dr. Karima Velchi. Kinonect niya ako ulit sa Ontario nominee program director. So doon, hindi nila alam na may gantong issues. Alam lang nila may mga nag-a-apply, nagsaset sila ng requirements. So I had a meeting with them. I told them, can we discuss the issues of nurses? Because you told us we have nursing shortages. We want to help. The internationally educated nurses are already here, but underutilized. So underutilization of IENs ang nagiging But if you help this international student, already registered nurse. So anong nangyari, we requested, we submitted recommendations na babaan yung requirements. Kasi sobrang taas, hindi nila ma-meet. Kasi some of them are like 1 year lang dito postgraduate work permit ang kinuha lang nila, and then they were able to register sa College of Nurses of Ontario kasi may mga documents they prepared naman before coming into Canada. Pero ang problema, 1 year lang ang nag-grant sa kanila. Yun lang in-apply nilang program.
Pero ang requirement ay ilan? 3 years, 2 years?
3 years.
Ganyan.
Matatapos mo yun kung meron kang validity na 3 years work permit. Matatapos mo, kukomply mo yung, yung PR pathway.
So nangyari ba? Binabaan ba nila yung requirements?
Binabaan. There are certain na binabaan nila. Maraming nakapasok. So nakikinig naman sila.
Ano yung mga binabaan?
Yung mga requirements, core requirements.
Which ones in particular?
Like sa mga healthcare. Like if you are like an RN, so binabaan nila from yung score na minimit nila masyadong mataas. So binabaan nila konti para marami makapasok sa healthcare.
So marami naman nakapasok.
Marami naman nakapasok, tas talagang kailangan itaas kasi hindi naman pwedeng isagad. Kasi it's immigration. Pero ngayon marami pa din talagang lumalapit. So ang ginagawa ko na lang ngayon is I'm referring them to other provinces. Kasi other provinces are calling for nurses. And then pinapayuhan ko nila advice, DIOP CNA advice you to go these provinces. Kasi kung ang target naman talaga natin dito is our PR. So tiis lang muna. Our goal is to have a PR, and then balik, if you want to really Ontario, then come back pag okay na kayo. So ganun na lang muna kasi I know pag lalapit ako sa mga politicians, ang hirap na ngayon kasi lalo na ngayon, politics, they're gonna use the international educated nurses na ang ginagawa lang naman is nire-refer kami sa ganito, pero ganun balik pa rin, kami pa rin talaga ang hanap ng ways para sa kanila.
So balik tayo dun sa sinabi mo, when we started our conversation, you had a dream, you were ambitious, you wanted to provide for your family, na give up mo yung ambisyon mo maging doktor, pinagpalit mo sa ambisyon na makalabas ng Pilipinas kaagad para makapagpadala sa Pilipinas, no? How is that now? Now that you're here in Canada, you have a good job.
Okay na rin. Sabi ko, if I'm going back to my initial dream na maging doktor, mahirapan na rin kasi may family. So at least kahit papaano as a nurse, nakikita ko rin naman dito kasi ang nurse is parang na rin doctor, like we have given the authority na we can advise the doctor. We can advocate for our patient, and then we recommend some care na alam namin based on our nursing skills and critical judgment, and we advise the doctors. I think this is the best thing for the patient. So we have, something to say na nakikinig sila, and then I think nurses knows na better pa nga dahil kasi kami, yung proximity namin sa pasyente, alam namin nangyayari sa pasyente, and we know the cases, and we know all the patients, management. So yun lang kagandahan nito. So parang in a way na okay din pala na you're like becoming like a doctor na rin, like you know what to do, and then you're advising the doctor, and they listen.
Nakakapagpadala ka naman sa Philippines.
Yeah,
how is your mom?
Okay naman siya kasi she needs some medication, kaya sabi ko my extra job, my casual job is para sa mom ko, and my full-time job kung ano ina-earn ko is for my family here sa Canada. So those I separate.
Nakabisita na siya dito sa Canada?
Nakabisita na siya. Nandito for ilang bisita na rin. Pero dahil nga mahirap na yung health, may mga health issues, di na magkaya mag-travel. So I prefer, sabi ko, stay ka muna. Although gusto niya bumalik. Sabi ko, ang worry ko lang kasi yung mga health issues. So, mahirap pa ngayon lalo malamig. And then, yeah, diyan ka muna.
Seems like you have had a very interesting journey since even before you became high school, no, when you were with your tita hanggang sa ngayon. Ano yung pinaka mabigat na na-experience mo that really taught you major life lessons?
I don't know if I can share this one, pero I've been longing to find my tatay. For 32
because
years.
single mother kasi yung
mother.
mom mo. Okay.
I was always asking nanay ko, saan ba si tatay? Sabi ko, bakit hindi ko siya nakita? Pero habang lumalaki, na-explain naman niya sa akin. Ito, nangyari, nag-abroad tatay mo, hindi na bumalik. Maliit ka pa, 1-year-old ka pa lang. Then lumaki ako, hindi ko siya nakita.
Oo.
And then, sabi ko, hanapin ko siya. Sabi ko gano'n. Kasi, just makomplete. Kasi may family na ako, but parang may
Now that
missing
you're a
piece.
father, diba?
May missing pieces. May missing piece talaga sa buhay ko na ano. At for 32 years, nag-search ako, ako sa Facebook, tinala may social media. And then, I found out na, dito pala siya. Sige, pupuntahan ko. Kinausap ko yung mga kapatid ko. Sino gustong pumunta? Sino gustong sumama? At that time, nag-abroad na ako. No? So, pwede ko sila yan sa aeroplano, ticket nila. Sige, sama ko. Sige. And then,
Nasaan siya?
sa Tacloban.
Hindi ko pala kailangan lumabas ng
Hindi mo naman
Pilipinas.
sa Pilipinas
Okay,
kasi nag-abroad siya before.
Okay.
And then, for 32 years, pinagdasal ko. Sabi ko, Lord, gusto kong makita. Kahit okay lang, one time lang.
Nasaan ka nito nung nalaman mo nasa
Papunta akong
Tacloban
Canada.
siya? From Abu Dhabi.
From Abu Dhabi, umuwi na akong
Papunta
Pilipinas
Canada.
for a month bago mag-Canada. Meron akong mission. I want to find him. Sabi ko sa nanay ko, sama ka. Ikaw, napatawad mo na siya? Kaya, you have to, sabi ko, kailangan patawarin na. We have to move on. Sabi ko, it's 2017 na. Sabi ko, you have to move on for like our own peace of mind na rin. Sumama siya.
Wow.
Sabi ko, ganito, inorient ko muna. Pag nakita natin, relax lang, kalma lang. Walang ano nangyari. Ikot ako, mawalan ako ng pag-asa eh. Nanap ko buong barangay dun sa Tacloban. Uuwi ba ako, Lord? Uuwi ba ako? Hindi ko siya nakikita. Sabi ko, no. I will not stop. Hanggang pumunta ako sa barangay. May nagturo sa akin, siya ba hinahanap mo? So, pamilyar. May picture ako niya. Pamilyar. Nagugas siya ng kotse niya. Sabi ko, sir, may kilala po ba kayong pangalan? Sabi ko, una, and then, medyo nagde-deny pa. Sabi niya, how about Mark Anthony Gravosa? Ay, gano'n. Pero siya, medyo nag-hesitant. Okay, sige mga hindi. Tapos tinawag niya ako. Okay, sabi niya, parang naalala ko. Yung gano'n. Then we started the conversation. Alam niya po ba may anak kayo? Alam niya po ba may iniwang kayo? Yung gano'n. Yung gano'n na story na. And then we started the conversation. Pero okay lang. Pinatawad ko na kayo. Sabi ko gano'n na sa kanya. Pinatawad na namin kayo. Okay na yung mga buhay namin. And hopefully okay na kayo. Ang gusto lang namin makita kayo.
Iyak ako.
Sabi ko, yun lang kagusto ko kasi pupunta akong Canada. Sabi ko, pupunta akong Canada. And hindi ko alam kung kailan ako makabalik.
Hala, kailangan pala ng tissue. Okay. Go ahead, Mark.
Yeah, hindi ko alam kung kailan ako babalik. Pero salamat. Nakita kita. Yun, at that time, nung ito na yun na. Tapos na nasa hotel kami na nakaanon. And then, lumalabas kami kasi bago ako mag-Canada, gusto kong makalibot din. Pupunta siya sa hotel. May nag-ano sa aming reception, may pupunta itong lalaki. Nahanap kayo. So doon nag-start na inadmit niya na, oo, patawad.
Ano yung reaction niya nung una yung naglilinis siya ng kotse?
Talagang,
wala. Parang,
ay ako sa mata niya, nashock siya. Nagulat siya. Andun kami sa harap niya.
kasama mo,
For ilang years. Mother ko nasa malayo.
Oo.
Kasi sabi ko, diyan ka lang.
Oo.
Kasi baka anything happens. Sabi ko, ako kakausap, akong bahala. Kalmalado lang tayo.
Sino yung kasama mo lumapit sa kanya?
Kapatid kong lalaki, pang-apat. Apat na sabi ko, sama tayo. Tsaka yung kapatid kong babae. Alam mo yun yung parang ako yung naglakas ng loob to have the closure. Hindi ko ma-imagine na yung bunso pala ang makagawa ng step para like connect kami ulit after 32 years.
So when he went to the hotel, ano nangyari?
Yan, nag-usap kami, lumabas kami kasi malapit na yung birthday niya. Lumabas kami, and then masaya ako nung time na yon. Nag-usap saglit ang nanay at tatay ko. So, yun lang yung pinaka And then, first and last. Yeah, kasi nung nagpunta ako sa Canada, sabi ko, ito na yung kutob ko. Baka nga, yun na yung huli. Una at ang huli. Then, 2021, 2022. Di pa ako nakauwi kasi, Yun nga, tumawag sa akin, nagkasakit, na-admit sa ICU.
Tumawag sino?
Yung half-brother ko. Kasi okay na, nagkaroon na kami ng communication.
Oo.
Na, hindi ko na,
Nasa ICU daw yung
na-stroke
father.
na gano'n. Parang dinamdam niya ba na hindi niya after nung pagkikita namin, gusto niya ulit kami makita. Hanggang na-depress, hanggang na gusto siya makambawi. Pero
Did he
since...
try to get in touch with any of you after
he's
seeing you?
trying to call yung mga kapatid ko. Nakapag-usap sila. Pero on that time na yun yung isa pinakamasakit na nangyari as a nurse sa akin. Kasi I used to revive patient sa hospital. I witnessed a lot of dying, healing, and then looking at like video call, sini-CPR ang tatay mo. That's the pinakamabigat na nangyari na encounter ko as being a healthcare professional. Na wala kang magawa. Wala ka doon na ganito gawin mo. Wala naman nakikinig kasi they have their own practice.
Pandemic ba to?
During pandemic na.
Okay.
2021 at 2020, something like that. Wala kang magawa. Gusto mo lang sumigaw, gawin mo to, CPR mo pa, huwag mo ituloy. Hanggang nakikita kong hindi niya na kaya. Sabi ko, stop. Okay na. Itapat niyo na lang yung phone sa tenga ng tatay ko. Tay, alam ko pagod ka na. Napatawad na kita. Napatawad ka na namin. You can go. Then after nun, flatline. Sabi ko, okay lang. Sabi ko, at least nakita kita once and for last.
Wala akong tissue.
Kaya yung sabi ko,
ng mga drama kasi ayokong umiyak.
I know.
Hindi mo ko winner.
yung sinabi ko na something I can share, but it's a lesson. It's a driving force for me. Kasi sabi ko, kung hindi nangyari yon, hindi ako magsusumikap siguro. Hindi ako magsusumikap siguro sa buhay kung meron akong tatay na nandun sa amin. Hindi siguro ako magsusumikap makapagtapos kung nandun siya. Kasi siguro everything happens for a reason. Para turuan kami ng leksyon, turuan kami para maging matatag sa buhay. So sabi ko, I think masaya na siya na nandun sa Pero yan, masaya din ako kasi nakilala ko siya even for once. Yeah, at least naging buo yung buhay ko.
You met him and ikaw yung nag-initiate talaga para hanapin siya. And all of you met him? Lahat?
Some of them nung nakita kami in person, nag-video call ako sa mga kapatid ko. Eto na si tatay. Nakita na natin siya.
Oo.
Sabi ko, kausapin niyo. Sabi niyo. And then let's forgive each other. Sabi ko, ito lang yung isang nakapag sa atin to, forgiveness. Ito yung mag-ano sa atin para makamove forward tayo.
Oo.
Kasi wala sa ating mangyayari kung lahat tayo merong, inanakit sa isa't isa.
Oo.
Let's forgive each other. And then try to move on. After nun, ang nanay ko gumaan ng loob, mga kapatid ko. Yeah, sabi ko, ang sarap sa pakiramdam. Pero kahit sabi ko, isang beses ko lang nakita, it's all worth it.
How does that affect you now as being a father? You have 3 kids.
Yeah.
Diba? How are you
So,
as a dad?
I don't know if because one of my favorite movies niya is yung Pursuit of Happiness ni Will Smith. Doon ko na every time na nakikita ko siya, any movie, Filipino movies na family-oriented or regarding sa tatay. Sometimes nadadala ako. Pero nagtuturo sa akin how to become resilient and how to handle challenges. Kahit sabi ko, kahit hindi ko naramdaman yung tatay habang lumalaki ako, ngayon naipapakita ko naman sa mga anak ko na how to become a dad. Na base sa mga na-observation ko, base sa nakikita ko sa mga kapatid ko, although hindi ko naramdaman, pero I'm giving it the best way I can para sa mga anak ko. Na alam nila, kinukwento ko. I didn't have the experience. Pero I'm giving it to you. Para maramdaman nyo na hindi ko naramdaman.
What's your message? What do you want to share to people? There's so many things you're involved with. There's so many things na you definitely had a challenging life, and it's so good to see you rise above those challenges and still giving a lot. Yung parang yung mga na-withhold sa'yo, pwede rin, the tendency is the other way around.
Yes.
You can be bitter, you can
Exactly. I
not
agree.
know how to be that big-hearted. But like, in all those things that you went through, what would be your message?
Sa akin, ang message ko lang sa mga nag-struggle, lalo na dito sa mga international educated nurses, o kahit hindi international educated, mga kababayan natin, na like life is full of challenges. Like if you believe sa 3 acts in life, like if you acknowledge that there's a challenge, embrace it, own it, and then use that one to guide other people. Use your own challenges, use your own struggles to serve as a light for others, to give hope to others, and serve that kind of challenge to guide other people, and you can transform those struggles into opportunities to serve other people. So yun yung pinaka talagang acts na inano ko na applicable sa akin dito sa Canada, because I've been through a lot of struggles. Sa nursing registration man o personal life, I've been through a lot. But isa lang lagi talaga ang is just pray and then continue. Life must go on. You can, if you're tired, you can rest, but never give up. Yeah, yun lang.
Ano yung hindi alam ng mga tao about you?
Siguro, kasi yung utak ko kahit kung ano-anong umanong activities. Kaya nagulat sila last year. Ang daming activities ng IFCNA nakilala. Hindi naman sa pero part of the IFCNA is yung last defining moment ng IFCNA is last year. Because we have a lot of activities na ang dami pumasok sa isip ko na yung creative, strategic planning. Ganun si Mark. Kasi I was trained during high school, like how to become active, how to serve other people, and then ngayon nadadala ko siya dito.
Amazed nga ako because you have one full-time job, one casual job, and you have a big responsibility dito sa organization na to. Tapos nagagawa mo pa yung maraming activities. A lot of people struggle with time. How do you
For me,
divide the time?
as long as like you're passionate about like what you're doing, you love what you do, hindi ka mapapagod eh. At isa pa, ang sarap sa feeling na you're part of somebody else's success or someone's success. Ang sarap sa pakiramdam na nakikita mo ngayon dati na mo is like struggling. Ngayon are registered nurses na pag nakikita mo nag-rounds ako sa Sunnybrook, sir, thank you, RN ako. Thank you for all your help. And then, ang sarap sa pakiramdam na you're been part of their success. Yun isa siguro yung nag-ano sa akin para to continue.
And
this
on that note,
passion.
we would like to thank you very much for sharing your stories and
Thank
for
you, Miss Sherry.
guesting in the show.
Thank you.
Huwag ka magkakasakit. We need people like you. Pwedeng
Thank
you can multiply yourself.
Thank you for
Parang
having
marami
me.
talagang Pilipinong ganyan. And we're glad that, you're here. You're an example of so many dedicated nurses. Diba? So thank you for your service. And thank you personally for guesting here.
Thank you.
Okay, that ends
Thank
our
you.
episode. We'll see you again next week.
Thank you so much.